ridden plenty of different roller coasters in my life, and because of that, I have plenty of coaster experiences that I've had before, so many so that it gets hard to remember all of them. But there are some that truly stand out above the rest. These are the truly memorable and just crazy experiences that I've had that truly stick with me and will continue to in the future. So today I'll be talking about my top 5 craziest roller coaster experiences. So coming in at number 5 is going to be my first and only night ride on Steel Vengeance. Now, I got plenty of rides on this back in 2018, and while I do think this ride is quite a bit overrated, the night ride is definitely great, and it's just a really fun coaster overall. At night, it truly hauls through that first half. The airtime is definitely stronger than during the day. It just absolutely flies through that first half. In the second half, it does run a little bit faster. The airtime is a bit better. But just flying over all those airtime hills and stuff in the dark and through those inversions and twisting through the structure and stuff in the second half when it's completely dark out is just a crazy experience, and it definitely runs a lot faster. I got this ride was towards the back, I think in like the last 4 or 5 rows. I don't remember the exact row, but it was just a great experience. Steel Engine is just a very fun coaster. It is in my top 5. It is a bit overrated, but it's just a really fun ride. In the night ride, it's just absolutely crazy. Such a long ride, plenty of airtime. Just in the pitch black dark, it's just such an awesome experience, and definitely one of my top 5 coaster experiences. So coming in at number 4 is going to be another night ride, and this was my front row night ride I got on King Dakar with Coaster Demon. I'll leave a link to his channel down below. And this was just crazy. I only got 2 rides on this, and this was my second one. But just the front row ride on this is like insane. It's just crazy intense. The launch is way, way better than in the other rows. The whole ride is just really intense. Doesn't really give any airtime still, but it's just a great ride. It was just crazy intense. It was draining. It's just so fast, so tall. It's just insane. And the fact that it's in the pitch black, you can't even like see the launch and the top hat really. You can see the launch because they're like the lights and stuff, but you can't even really see the top hat. It's just going that fast in the pitch black dark and experiencing this ride is just crazy. It's just a crazy experience. If you get a front row night ride, or just a night ride in general on this, definitely do it. I got a night ride on Dragster, but that wasn't front row, but just getting a front row night ride on this was just absolutely crazy. It's just one of the craziest experiences I've ever had on a coaster. So number 3, also at Six Flags Great Adventure, was my first ever ride on El Toro back in 2016. And I guess there weren't any crazy circumstances, like it wasn't like in the rain or at night or anything. But this was one of my, it was pretty much my first elite coaster. I didn't have many credits at the time, so when I rode this for the first time, it just blew me away. That drop, the airtime, just the intensity, the crazy bank turns of this ride. I was just blown away by the time I hit that brake run. I was speechless. It was a bit rough because I rode on a wheel seat, but it was just such a memorable experience. It immediately became, my number one coaster. It was my number one coaster for a long time. And I still just love El Toro a lot. And just that first ride on it truly blew me away. It was just one of the craziest experiences I've ever had. And it's still one of my favorite coasters of all time. So number 2 is by far my favorite rain ride I've ever had on a coaster, and this was my insane back right wing seat pouring rain ride on Sky Rush. And sorry I couldn't find a rain POV of this coaster, so I just used a regular back row POV, but this was just insane. I mean, you take a coaster that has some of the craziest airtime and just one of the most intense coasters out there, and add the fact that it was pouring rain. This hurt like crazy throughout the whole ride. Even on the lift hill, I was having trouble keeping my eyes open. It's just such a bonkers, nuts ride in general. And when it's raining, it just takes it to a whole nother level. This is by far the most painful experience I've ever had on a coaster, but it was just so much fun. And I just love Sky Rush. So my number 1 craziest coaster experience was actually on my number 1 coaster I've ever ridden, Intimidator 305. And this was my first ever blackout I got on this coaster. And this was back, I think, in August of 2018. I was riding in the back row. And I did not expect this to happen, but during that first turn, I completely lost vision, and it was just insane. I don't think there was ever a time on a coaster before where I had literally forgotten completely where I was. I had completely forgotten that I was on a coaster. I had no idea where I was. I couldn't see anything. I was just floating there for a couple seconds. And during the rest of the ride, like after my vision cleared up, I was just shook that I had just blacked out for the first time on this thing. It was just truly surreal. The first time this happens to you, it is just surreal. It is crazy. It's happened to me plenty of times since. I've gotten used to it, but the first time was just, it really caught me off guard. It's just crazy, but it was just awesome. And this is just such an amazing coaster. I love Intimidator 305 so much. So intense, and just by far my number one coaster. So that'll be about it for this video of my most insane and just craziest coaster experiences that I've had. But I'd like to know, what are some of the most insane experiences that you guys have had on coasters? Make sure to leave those in the comments below. Thanks for watching this video. I know it's just a pretty quick video. I was actually supposed to get this up yesterday, but I had some school stuff. But I hope you enjoyed it. So that'll be about it. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.